Hi guys, how are we doing today? You are welcome to Purpose Over Pain podcast once again. And finally, we are here with the episode one. It's been a very,
Very
very
long time.
long, also and hassle, but God has brought us here. So, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time that you are using to watch this video, I don't know. This, like I said earlier on, this is episode one of Purpose Over Pain podcast, and I am Uwelu Priscilla, and here with me is our guest of the day.
The Global Nkiruka.
Her name is Excellency, and from the name, you know that name sounds, it brings a lot of success. She's a very, very big woman. Please don't joke with her. Okay, so before we start, we're going to do a little exercise.
Okay.
You're going to pop this balloon.
Okay.
There are 3 questions inside. You would answer them.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Ooh, that was massive.
All right. So, here
Okay,
we are with the first question. So it says, what's something you'll tell your younger self?
Something I'll tell my younger self.
Yes.
Never ever displease yourself to please other people. Because I spent a lot of time trying to get people to my side, because I happened to be an only child for a long time before I had a younger brother. So that made me always want people around me, because I know, oh, I'm always going to be left alone at home, right? So I always love to have people around me, and that will make me do everything possible to see them stay with me. So, and I never knew that those times were even the moments I should have been finding my voice. Those moments that I felt I was alone was the perfect time for me to find myself, rather than abandoning myself and pleasing other people. So yeah.
All right. That's a very, very interesting one. We move to the next question now. It says, what is something people often misunderstand about you?
Yeah.
About you.
Okay. They always say that I do too much, right? Because I've always been one young child that has been audacious. There's one thing that my dad taught me, is always to put myself out there. He made me understand that nobody is going to recognize you if you don't put yourself there, right? So I've always been audacious. I've always been curious to learn, to want to get new ideas, experiences. So when I do that, people see it as, this girl, you're too everywhere, right? And they don't know that it's also helping me meet people, learn new things. Okay, for instance, in my secondary school, I happened to lead assembly from GSS1 to SS3 in St. Saviour's High School. That was one thing that made me very popular. And people would always see it as oversabi, overdo, but right, it's not really that way for me. It's just something I do to learn and to put myself out there as well.
And coming from people who probably dealt with shyness or having their voice being
low
silenced,
self-esteem,
exactly, they would see it as you.
They felt threatened.
Exactly. All right, so we move to the last question.
Okay.
So choose one between these two options and explain why you're choosing that particular answer.
Okay.
Silence or explanation?
Silence. But I would say it depends on the situation. But I think I'll choose silence first before explanation, because I did it a lot. There was a time Excellency was a good explanator, if there's any word like that. I always want people to hear me out. Like there was this need to always be seen, not just seen, but for people to understand me. No, this is not what I'm doing. People should understand me. People that don't care don't care.
Exactly.
No matter how much you explain, they will still tag you to be what they have heard about you. So I just learned to let things be and let people be. Whatever perception you have about me is fine, right? Those who know me, and I'm okay with that.
And I think there are certain people in our lives that if you were to give explanations for certain things, there are specific persons around us that deserve our explanations. That
it's not people that don't add any value.
There's just a balance to everything. All right, so we are back to the main purpose of this Purpose Over Pain podcast. Give me my flowers, guys. All right, as you would have seen in the description, the theme of this first episode is fixing the spirit of people pleasing. You see, this particular theme, oh my god, this is one of the things I battled with as an individual for a very long time, for as long as I can remember. Pleasing people, it's dangerous out there. So we are here to discuss about that. We're going to talk to you guys the things you need to learn, how to identify it, how it's it breaks you, how it hinders or slows down your purpose in life, how you can overcome it, the steps you can take. And I hope that as you watch, you learn what you need to learn. Okay, so let's start from the roots, understanding the roots of people pleasing. What is people pleasing?
For me, I would say people pleasing is self-abandonment. Like I said earlier, it's you leaving yourself outside and then doing what other people feel like you should do and want you to do.
I think I would also add people pleasing is that constant desire and need to always please other people's. It's just I'm just laying emphasis on what she said.
Right.
Please other people's cares, their emotions, everything about them, their needs above yours. And you know this thing is killing you. But because you are desperate, you feel like you cannot do without them, you cannot live without them. You just try your best to avoid any arguments with them, avoid fights. And in the process, you are killing yourself emotionally, you are killing your voice. That is the most important thing to note. You are killing your voice. Your voice is dying. You are killing your identity.
True.
So I think that's. Do you have any other things to
Also,
add?
yes, I do. It's also the fear of being alone. Right? It comes from a lot. And I believe that as we go on, we'll get to that point where
Yes,
we
we
know
would.
why and how it starts.
So let's move to the next one. What do you think is the desire, or where does the desire to please others, where does it stem from?
Okay, I would say it comes from our parents. It's one part that people often disregard. Our inner voice did not just start on its own. Um we had people that brought us up. Part of who we are today comes from the information we got from our parents.
Definitely.
So most of us grew up in a home that we were not seen. We were not seen, and we struggled for our parents to see us, for our siblings to see us. Some people grew up in homes that their parents had favorites. So there is this struggle to, want to be heard. Why are they not seeing me? Why is it that everything I do in this house, nobody appreciates it? Why is it that my own is different? So this thing leaves negative voices that maybe we are not enough, we are inadequate. So we go outside and we don't want it to repeat with outsiders. Do you understand? So that makes us, when we now meet with those outsiders, we are careful. We are careful of what we say. Maybe you have parents that are always lashing out on you. There's nothing you do that always pleases them. So when you're outside, you're careful. It even makes people to crawl inside. So even when they have the opportunity to let out and come closer to people, they are still there is this, how do I put it, there is this consciousness not to overdo. So they are in a bondage. So I would say our parents have a big role when it comes to people pleasing.
Yes, very, very true. I think if I'm going to add, I'll just broaden it a bit. I think it's the environment.
True.
Sometimes it's not even the parents. Probably the parents are giving, well, in a way, are giving the children the best, how to be seen, how to be heard. But that can be the very, very first root. Once the foundation is destroyed, you get. But I think the environment, if we step up a bit, maybe like school, friends, and not anytime you say something, it's like, maybe out of a trial, there's this duo, and then the third person
is always out of place.
So for someone in that kind of a position, there's this desire. Okay, how can I fit in? Involve me. You get. So in the process, you start trying to please people. Let me try my best. Maybe if I don't argue with them, maybe they would see me. Maybe if I don't give them backward. Maybe if I do everything they need me to do, whether I'm comfortable with it or not, as long as I do it for them, maybe they'll understand me, maybe they'll start loving me, maybe they'll start involving me in things where they are going to, plans they are making and all of that. But these things are not. We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. Okay, so I think the next thing we would go to is I would add this. Sometimes this spirit of trying to please people here and there, I think it stems from a lot of things. Like maybe when she said your parents could be a very big factor, how they treated you at home. And when you now begin to go out there and you start interacting with humans in life, and it just affects you anyway. I think trauma from your childhood days, rejection from your childhood days, how people rejected you, probably even your parents, because we have a lot of parents these days that are always treating their. I don't know, why do people give birth to kids if are you not reasoning with me?
Sorry, I want to say something on concerning this parent issue. Most times, our parents don't even know that they are doing this to us.
That's another thing.
It could also be the way they were trained. It could be the way they were trained and they do not know any better. Most parents feel that flogging a child, hitting a child, talking down on a child is the best way for that child to, become better. But they don't know they are doing more damage than good, right? And also, I wanted to add that it could also be when you happen to be this audacious person, and you might come from a family who loved and trained you quite all right. Nobody made you feel less of yourself, but then you find yourself in an environment where you're the one that is doing best. Imagine in your class, you're that child that is always at the top, and then people are like, you do too much, you talk too much, you're always there, you're everywhere. At some point, you want to start dancing to their tune. You find yourself doing what, they say I read too much, okay, maybe I should just go and play for some time. It happens. Like you said, a lot of factors that causes this people pleasing.
And there's something that, just on the note of that parent issue, there's this thing they say, you can't give out what you don't have.
Right.
And I would totally agree with you. Our parents, they probably grew up in homes where, you would see some posts that will tell you that forgive your parents, this is their first time of living too, which is totally right. It's totally right. And looking at this generation, I see a lot of, they're trying to heal. If you see on social media how these parents, new age parents, are trying to work out things with their children,
Right.
It's giving this thing really was bad. And I love the efforts that people are putting out there, the parents that are upcoming. And this is a challenge to you too, if you plan on giving birth,
right,
by the
you
way.
be a parent one day, not to transfer those bad traits to your kids.
And let me also add, it is one thing to not want to be a bad parent. You might have come from a home where, this particular person grew up in a house where his father was always
hostile, very hostile environment.
His mother. But if you're not careful, whilst you are that child, you might make up, have that decision in your mind. I will never touch my wife. I will never lay my hands on a female. Right. But if you are not careful, you see, the devil is a bastard. If you're not careful, you can get married and start doing the very things that you once detested.
Like you said, trauma. You need to you need to be aware. You need to be aware of what you went through so that you don't also pass it over to your children. Truly, you need to be aware of it so that, because I'm going to use myself as an example, very honest, right? My dad happened to be short-tempered. So there were times that I would do something very, very minor, and the way he would yell and hit me, hey, you would think that I've done the worst. Now, I grew up in that kind of environment. I have a younger brother now. Growing up, I found out that sometimes my younger brother would not even do something that should make me beat him as much as. Then after the act, when I'm calm, I'm like, what did I just do now? And I look at him, I'm like, I'm sorry. And I remember, oh my God, that is why I said our childhood has a lot of effect on us.
It will
have. And you just need to be so self-aware so that you don't see yourself repeating these patterns. Just like you said, it's one thing to want to be a good parent, and it's another thing to see yourself doing those things you said you will never do. Because I also caught myself doing those things, and then I found out that this thing daddy did, it didn't work out for me. So why am I doing it to my younger brother? It's not intentional.
Yes.
But it's already registered. It's what I saw. So I started taking notes, right? And a lot. I was just self-aware not to transfer it to my younger brother.
And of course, we're going to give a solution to that. And the only
Yeah.
solution that I would prefer is once the first stage, like she said, rather, is being self-aware.
Right.
Now, once you are aware, please take it to God. Please take it to God.
True.
God, these are the patterns that are being hosted in my house. These are the patterns, the cycles that keep repeating from the household I am stemming from. I need this to end with me. I cannot get married as a male child and start laying my hands on my wife. I cannot become a mother. I grew up in a house where, maybe I grew up in a house where my mom used to insult me and all of that. I don't want to be that kind of mother to my own kids. Because these things, like we said, unintentionally, you just find
see yourself doing it.
So please take it to God and ask Him to help you. Serious prayer.
Seriously.
I would always recommend prayer to everybody. Talk with the Holy Spirit about these things every time. Talk with Him about it. And we're saying the factors, abandonment, maybe your friends that you thought were your friends, they abandoned you several times. Your parents, teachers, you're just that person that was.
Should we also talk about teachers? Teachers have their side though.
The funny about teachers, which is quite normal. We are humans. Let's not even lie about these things. You know the way they treat their favorites in the class. And then you know that nobody is Olodo. But you that you know that in a way you are not up to them. Those that are academically there. There's a way it makes you feel. And these things, they add up to why some of us begin to have low self-esteem.
Yeah, self-doubt. And the truth is that it's not that those people are better than you. You haven't just found your own way to know and learn, right? I happen to be in that situation, right? There was this further maths teacher when I was in SS2, because I noticed my way of learning and reading is very different from other people. And it also depends on how the teacher teaches. There are people that I notice that I can easily assimilate to their method of teaching, and there are some people I cannot. Those people that I cannot, I find out that I do better reading on my own. When I get home, sit down, go over it, for a couple of times, I tend to grab things. But this further maths teacher, I was not even there. People told me, he said, Excellency is an average student or slightly above average. When I heard it, for some reason, I don't know, I was not happy. There's more to me.
Exactly.
There is more to me. And there was now this strong desire to prove to him that there is more to me. In short, I don't put me average. I am above average.
It's
not even that being average is bad though. Yes. But I did not like that
compliment.
I did not even like that placement. No, it's not for me, because I didn't even go well with the teacher. One of the reasons too. So I had to prove to myself and to him that I am more than that, and I did it. So you see that most children, it's not that they are olodo like we would always tag them to be, but most teachers don't know different methods to teach and to get children,
different students,
and it can also lead to this people pleasing that we are talking about. It now makes you feel like, because people pleasing also comes from low self-esteem. When you see yourself as not being enough, so you now want to fix yourself into everybody and everywhere, just to show that okay, I am good, or I am better. Right, yeah.
Okay, so now I think we can now move to where we share our personal stories. Like when did you realize that you were dealing with people pleasing? Let me go first.
Right.
So for someone like me, I'm not trying to boast or anything, okay? I am academically sound. And it was one of the, let me use the word landmarks. I mean, that was not how I started my nursery school though. I think there was a time in my nursery 2 where I saw the results. maybe second to last. I can't remember per se, but something close to being down, like down. And
Below.
I remember there was this girl I used to move with. Her name is Ayomiko. So during prize giving day, we got home. My mom said, "Does she have two heads? Does she have two heads?" And
Mm.
there are certain things she said which I can't really remember, but I remember the effects I had on me. I just kept ruminating on this. I cried though,
Mm.
and for someone like me, tears they are not far fetched from my
At
eyeballs. I
all.
cried. I cried my eyeballs out. I was
Mm.
like, truly, if I'm moving with this girl, she's doing quite well. Doing quite well. She's doing extremely well.
Mm.
And look at me. I mean, people will say, "Show me your friend," I'll tell you who you are.
Oh, true.
So if I'm moving with her,
Why are you
why
different?
can't you tell who I am? Why do I have
Mm.
to be? And it's challenged me. Of course, it had the positive side. It challenged me. Premier one, I took third position. I was like, okay. And I think I also got best in maths or English. I can't remember rather. Premier two, I collected position, gift rather. Premier three, got another prize. Premier four, got another prize. Okay, Premier four, I now dropped to second.
Mm.
From third in Premier one, then first Premier two, Premier three, first again, Premier four, I now got second. I did not hear what again.
Mm.
I think it was a boy that took the first from me. Yes.
Mm.
You're allowing a guy to collect first position from me. Okay.
Our parents are.
If my mom sees
Oh my
this, if my
god.
mom sees this, if she sees this. And it did a lot on my mental health. I was like,
Mm.
Jesus, how could I have, what did I do wrong? I know that thing was, I just wanted to please, I owe it to them, right? They're paying for my fees, I owe it to them, I owe it to my teachers would come and be like, "Look, Shelley, what happened? Why did..." Then premise six, I mean we had double promotion. Premise six, I got the first again. Now I moved to secondary school. I was doing well as usual. And it got to a point where I think people started noting that academic excellence as pride. Because of that status of mine, there were things other people could freely do, but if they were coming from me, I was proud.
True.
Let me cite an example. I'm proud of my handwriting. It's one of the things I love about myself. So there was a time this girl, I was sent on an errand by the teacher, and this girl was trying to help me complete my notes because I was absent, of course, so that when I come back, I'll be able to catch up.
Yeah, catch up.
And she helped me to complete the notes. One thing about me is I love reading my notes with my own handwriting. And when I go back, I saw it. I was, okay, thank you, baby girl, but it's my writing I want. So what I did was, maybe it was bad because they saw me doing it. Okay, so I thought out what she wrote and I fixed back my own handwriting inside her place. They saw me, and people started tagging me. Oh, that's how she is. She's very proud. Unicorn. Does she think she's the only one with fine writing? This and this and that. That was not my intention. Of course, if I were the girl, I helped you to write exactly. I do not invalidate that my actions, the way I went about it was probably wrong, but my intention was my reading. I was focused on when I want to read. I might not be able to assimilate through my own writing. I need my own writing in my book. And so that was the part they were not able to see. Okay, and the number of things they said to me that day, it was a lot. For someone like me, I cannot be talking about my writing. But when other people are discussing about their writing, it's normal. But if I should make an input, I'm proud. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
True.
Once I can, yes. Oh, is it because your writing is fine? It's not gonna come.
They feel threatened by it though.
It was a lot. Or probably in class we had things to do. If I did certain things, oh, that's how she used to do. She's this, and I was that kind of student that teachers
Would
used
like
to
to
call, yes, and they will use my notes, and because of my writing, use my notes for a lot of things. And, it was a lot. These things, and sometimes they would even use my scripts as marking guide for other scripts, and of course the students, they will find out about these things, and I'm like, it just triggered these people. It triggered them. And when I saw how these people started responding to these circumstances and situations, I thought maybe you will not believe there was a day I went home and I cried to God. I said, "Why did you give me a fine writing?"
Imagine.
That was how bad it got. Why did you give me a fine writing?
It's not your fault.
Guys, be careful. Don't let people project. their insecurities, their own
Their
flaws.
pain on
Don't
you.
let them project it on you. I mean, anytime I think back, I feel like I was so foolish. Why would I? People are praying for this fine writing, and I'm going to
That's
use God
it.
to renounce the fine writing. And a lot of things in the process, when these people wanted to talk, because they saw me as a proud girl. So I wanted to prove to them
That you're not
that I was
proud.
not proud. So whenever they came to meet me, help me with assignments, help me with this, help me to write these notes, even though I knew I had a lot of things on my own desk in those moments, I just, okay, this is an opportunity for me to prove to them that
That
I'm
you're
not
not
proud.
proud.
So I'll take it. Okay, okay, bring it. Think of bring it. I'll be doing it for them. Whenever they're talking, I just want to be around them so that they can see me and know that she's humble.
I'm just
She's not
Priscilla.
proud. I just
Just
wanted to
Priscilla.
prove
There's
to
nothing
them.
much.
I just needed their approval that
Yeah.
one day they'll just say, "Oh, she's not actually proud. You thought
Mm.
she was proud, but she's not actually proud." That's just what I was waiting for, and that
Right.
was one huge mistake I was
You're making.
making rather. Guys, be careful. Be careful. And so this thing went on and on and on and on. Whenever they said things that I knew were not right about me, I could not defend myself.
Mm.
I couldn't. It was killing me. And you know what I now later realized? These people saw things that I had inside of me that I
You did
did
not
not
even
know that I
say.
had.
True.
I know this is the same thing, this is the same concepts the devil works with. He
True.
sees those things that you have. This is why the Bible says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." And this
Right.
is why one of the important things as a child of God is to know your identity.
Know who you
Because
are.
before you think of, maybe before you knew who you were or who you are, the devil already knows that this girl is marked for greatness.
True.
So if you don't know it, he's going to play you down.
Mm.
And so this was what these guys were doing to me. They saw the things I had in me, but I didn't see these things in me. And so in a way, they probably didn't know, but in a way, these things were pulling me down. They were pulling me down. It got to a point I did not have a voice of my own. I could not. I just wanted to please them. I would try my best to involve a lot of gossips, a lot of rumors about me. And I was just trying to constantly prove to them that whatever you guys are saying is not true. I am not that girl. But it was becoming worse, and I didn't know how to fix it. I didn't even know who to run
You
to.
remember you also said you gave them books at some point to
Yes,
write.
yes, it's crazy. I shared a story with her. So when we were about closing SS3, I did this thing. Um, Initially it was meant for my juniors, you get, because I had, to some extent, I was this kind of senior that was close with my juniors, you get me. So I had this book that I needed to pass across to them. Okay, write what you feel about me. What will you miss about Senior Priscilla? Write these things down. Let me, so that when I get back home and I start reminiscing on these things, they're like, oh, I did this, I did this, I did that. They'll miss this about me. That was the initial aim. But when I got the book back, I realized that some of my classmates, it got to their hands already. I saw their writings, and some of them, they confessed that some of the things they did to me was out of jealousy.
And look at you going to God to say, why did you give me such a beautiful
They confessed with
writing?
their own mouths I was out of jealousy. It was a lot.
Imagine.
It was a lot. So can you share yours?
Well, I think I've said mine partly. It came from the fact that I was an only child for a long time. So let me share this intimate part of myself. So there was a time my cousins came over to my place for the holiday. So while some of them went back, my aunt left like two to stay with me. But then her husband called and was like, why will you leave my kids there? I need my children together. And I cried my eyes out that day. Because I know what it means to be only you. Thankfully, I came from a family where we were well to do. We had everything we needed. So I didn't lack anything aside company. So that also made my parents, after school, they registered me for home lesson. So once I'm coming back, I'm not coming just to stay alone. My lesson teacher is coming to stay with me. So by the time we are done, they would have been back from work and I would not feel so lonely. So going to school, I loved school. Oh, and you asked me why I love school. I love school because you know why I'm going to meet my friends. I'm not going to be alone. So school was like that escape. place for me. And then when I get to school, I'm always meeting new people, different background. And like I said, I've always been audacious. I've always been confident. So these people will always say things that would bring me down. I'm like, okay, how do I make these people like me? I would, I tolerated nonsense. So
That's one of the things to look out for. You start tolerating the things you're not supposed to tolerate.
Few days ago, I was reminiscing. I was like, Nkiruka, do you remember that there were some people you let into your life that it's not pride,
Yes.
but these people were never meant to come close to you.
Not at all.
It is just what it is. But because you did not understand who you were, your identity was not clear, you didn't have clarity, you didn't know what your purpose was or anything, so you just let them in. They disrespected me. I took insults. Hey,
That part is so real.
They will throw shades in jokes. They will this one. You think say you fine, think say now only you sabi sing. Because like I said, I was always, leading assembly. They will say a lot of it. I mean, I will laugh at it. I will laugh with them because I need them now. I don't want to be. Will I be lonely in the house and be lonely in school? I mixed with a lot of people that were never meant to come to me. These things really messed with me. It had side effects because I started hearing a lot of things about myself. I started accepting what was not true about me. At some point, I shrinked. That audacious Nkiruka, that confident Nkiruka, she went inside.
Was shrinking.
But you know one thing, I was already, this confidence was in me that even when I did not believe in myself, somehow, somewhere, I would still put myself out there. So people were not seeing it.
Yes.
They will not see, they don't know what I was battling with because it was already inbuilt. No matter what it was, anytime you call on me, I would always come out.
Like a mask.
Right? I always come out. But inside, I was dying inside. I was dying inside. I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be heard. No, this is not me. I'm not like this. I'm not like that. It's not what you think. Like I said, at some point in my life, explanation nearly killed me. I was explaining too much.
Explain,
but like I said, they don't care. They already, this is, like you said, they see what you don't see about yourself. So no matter what you tell them, they've seen it. Just the way the devil does as well. He knows you. Apostle Femi Lazarus will say he also needs you to be at the top so that he will attack you there.
Yes.
He knows, he's seen everything, but you don't see that. That's where he attacks,
strikes.
he strikes. So yeah, basically that was how my own started.
All right, so I just want to share Luke 5:16 because it says, "But Jesus often withdrew to the wilderness for prayer." Jesus himself, he knew that, the Bible says there are times and seasons for everything. Okay, he knew when to withdraw. Even, there are some times that even some people would go all their way out to help you, and there are sometimes that they need something from you, but you just know that at that moment or in that moment, you're not capable enough, and it's fine to say no.
Right. It's very fine to say no. Please don't overdo it. There are different ways of going out for somebody. What you see as me going out could be a convenient time for me. It doesn't mean I could not also inconvenience myself. It just depends on how you can take it in at that moment.
The
Right?
understanding.
Someone can wake me up by 2 a.m. and, oh, Excellency, I need your help. And it's convenient for me to go out by that time because I will look at it that, oh, it's not affecting me in any way. Or even if I have something to do, I could still reschedule. Right? You also look at your schedule, look at what you have to do. Is it going to affect me in any way? Is it going to affect me in any way that will break down? And sometimes there are things that someone will ask of you. You know that this is a situation of life and death. Sometimes when you look at it that, oh, even if this person doesn't get it from me, this person is not going to die or nothing is going to happen to this person. You can pray for the person too. You can just pray for the person. So you just need to learn how to balance things.
Yes, I think the balance, and for that balancing, this is where, like we have been saying or advising from the start, stay with God, hear him. I think for me, one of the mindset shifts I had is, I think Romans 12 that says, "Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind." Let God help you renew your mind. And you know the
True.
thing about renewal is that it's a
It's
continual.
a continuous
Until I
process.
started getting close to God, I didn't even realize that I was dealing with that spirit of trying to please people around me, trying to over. You know the thing about people pleasing, you just want to over explain yourself. No,
True.
it's not like this. It wasn't like this. Explanations that you know that thing you go explain, tire. Explanations are not necessary, but because you want, you are just
And you also find out that it's just God you need. Oh.
yeah.
When Jesus was tempted the third time and he said to Satan, "Get thee behind me. You are only to serve God and Him alone." At the end of the day, you know that one with God is majority. That when you have God, you have everything. I always
Totally.
I always remember sometimes that, oh, this God also has the key to the heart of every man. So that person that wants to start explaining, let me just go to the one that created me and the person and speak to him that, oh yeah, see God, or yeah, just go and talk to that your daughter. Or I don't know how you're going to speak to her. You have your way of speaking to your children. Just do your thing. But I will not go and start explaining things. I'm not going to overdo myself again because it's going to affect me. And what will affect me will affect my relationship with you.
Definitely.
Right.
All right, so I think for the most part, we have said a number of things that need to have been said, and we hope that you guys definitely picked something. Remember that we said it's fine to set boundaries.
Very
It's fine
fine.
to say no,
It's
even to
also
people.
self-respect.
Yes, yes. Don't be selfish to yourself.
Mm.
Sometimes it's not about being selfish to others. Don't be selfish to yourself.
Right, because you could be doing for them. Yeah,
Mm,
you are helping them,
mm.
but you are
You're
killing
killing
yourself.
yourself.
Right.
And even Jesus will look at you and be like, "Who sent you work?"
Because he himself, he also had his own self time, his
Yes,
personal time.
yes. So it's fine to say no, and you don't have to feel guilty.
That
It's one
part.
of the things that comes with that spirit of trying to please people.
Mm.
There's this guilt.
Mm.
It's like an endless feeling of guilt inside.
Am I not
What are
hurting
they
this
thinking
person?
now
What would
about
they be
me?
thinking?
This thing that I said, hope they will not
How
take
would
it the
they
wrong way.
feel?
How? Man, you don't need to worry about these things.
Especially when you're doing it from a place of sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
When it's from a place of
Don't lose
sincerity.
yourself, guys. Your
Okay.
voice is very important. Find your identity also.
True.
Find your identity. Don't kill your voice. Know who you are. Yes, I am sound academically. That is who I am.
Own it.
If you have an issue with it, I don't know.
They'll go and meet God.
Yes, this
Yeah.
person has a good voice. Leave them that way. Yes, this person is confident, very courageous. Leave them that way. Because you don't have what the person has does not mean that you should start bad mouthing and start using it to downgrade them, and then you start spreading rumors. Also, don't be that person. We've been talking about from the
Inside.
victim's point of view now.
Victimization.
Yes, now let's look at let's look at it from the perspective
Of the
of
other
those.
person.
Yes, please don't be that person
True.
that would victimize people, make them feel bad every single time for things that they do. Stop that act.
True.
It's not okay at all.
Sorry, lastly, let me add something. If you listen to Mel Robbins, right, I love that woman so much. She was interviewed one day and she was asked, what do you say about envy? And she said, envy is not bad though. That when you find out that you're envious, there is something that person is doing that you can resonate with, but it's just that you've not been able to develop that point. So people that saw your handwriting, they wanted to write well, but they just did not know how to go about it. An innocent person would have just come and be like, Prissy, I love your writing. Please, can you teach me? How do you write like this? You could have your pattern of writing and you could give the person, okay, this is how it just works for me. Oh. Honestly speaking, sometimes it comes from a place of want, desire. You desire
Yes,
it. There's
yes.
something in you that is screaming out for that thing. So instead of being envious, walk up to that
Channel
person.
it into the positive aspect.
Right, walk up to that. It will not. It doesn't mean you are dumb,
or that you are too needy.
there's something in you that people also come to. So there's nothing bad in going to meet people. And how are you able to do this? You can't do life alone. No, you can't do life. You need people.
All right, so we've come to the end of episode 1. Fixing the spirit of people pleasing. Stop trying to please people. You cannot please all humans. Humans are insatiable by nature. You cannot please everybody. And I hope that God will help every single one of us. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.